sparkle,
A little bit
that
more atmosphere.
sprinkle
Yeah.
of greatness.
Yeah.
Here we are. Welcome to the Junction. We are ready to rock and roll.
Did you notice I didn't laugh? Did you notice I didn't laugh?
No, you didn't laugh today. Did you see the rock?
I composed myself.
Rock. I got the guitars in the back.
Yeah, man. I thought you was a drummer.
Hold on a minute. Someone's just arrived. Wait there. Come in.
Okay.
Come in. Quick. Look who's here.
Welcome to the Good Junction.
Love that.
Done. Right. Get to bed.
Yeah, all that you get. Good. Toodaloo. Funny.
How you been?
Funny. Yeah,
been
good? Really good. Yeah. Busy week. It's been really good, actually.
Yeah.
I did, obviously work, my main job. Boring, but I had to do it. And then Friday I did a surprise birthday party for a guy who he owns a barber shop in where I live, and he gives so much to the community. You know, his door is always open. You know, what he started doing is he on a Sunday he'll go round to the psychiatric hospital and old people's homes, and because they can't get to his barbers, he will go there and he'll cut their hair, and he cuts it for free. So when I was asked by his wife, could I do his 50th birthday as a surprise, I was like, yeah, 100%, put me down. I am in. Then we had a little bit of to and fro about money and this, that, and the other, and I was like, well, no, I'm good. It's literally 3 minutes up the road from where I live. When I was raising money a few years ago, he was like one of the first people to put his hands in his pocket, you know. So I said, no, anyway, the party was great. He didn't know anything about it. Quite a few people turned up. I was able, between 50 and 100 people turned up. They danced, they drank, they chatted, they ate. It was great. Really, really good. Really good night. Really good night. Really enjoyed it. So that was Friday. And then Saturday, I did Masonic Ladies Night over Southend Way. And that was really good. Did a lot of white setup, had like all my gear out, did a little time-lapse video. I did a time-lapse video. I know I saw you do a video on TikTok about how long it took you to do your thing.
I was going to get into that shortly, but yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry, we'll get into that in a minute. But which bit were you going to get into?
Well, the time-lapse.
Okay, we'll come back to that then.
We can talk about the time-lapse.
No, I don't want to put you off your train of thought, mate. I don't want to be that person that derailed Matty F on a Monday night.
Listen,
or Tuesday morning, whatever it is.
You're never going to derail me. Never going to derail me.
Well, okay, so I was doing a time lapse and it ran out of battery. That's the short of it. That's the short of it. But yeah, really good night. They've already booked me up for next year as well, which is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, and then the rest of it's family time and chilling, really.
Nice.
So yeah, what about yourself? How you been? How was your week?
Well, let me just digest what you've just said first and foremost before I get into mine. So, let's talk about the time lapse as we're talking about that. So you did a time lapse. Was your camera fully charged for that time lapse?
I'll be honest, it wasn't.
Yeah, I was going to say because I did a time lapse at the silent disco that I did on Friday in Swindon, and I did the time lapse as soon as we opened the doors till as soon as we closed the doors for 2.5 hours, and I still had around about 20% left of camera life left, which surprised me a little bit.
Yeah, well, I looked at I turned it on. I looked at it. I said, "Oh, loads of battery there. That's not a problem." And I thought, it's only going to take me, no more than an hour to set all this up. And clearly, it is what it is. So, I missed the end, probably missed the last sort of 10, 15 minutes.
That's fine.
But yeah, so you took a full time, it's a whole evening.
Yeah. Yeah, so I haven't put that out on any socials yet. In fact, I have actually. It's gone out on the Silent Discos in Incredible Places feed. from the start of the night all the way through to the end of the night. That the Insta 360 still had 20%
Yeah.
live, so that went on for a time lapse for over 2.5 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, nice and easy. So there was that. And the Masonic Lodge one you did down in Southend, I'm pleased they booked you again, because that was a gig that I passed you.
Yes, you did. You did refer me over. One of the things that they loved more than anything was the backdrop, the starlit backdrop.
Nice.
And before they came into dinner, the president of the lodge came up to me and said, "Do you mind if a few people come in and have a picture with that in that as the backdrop?" So no, come on in.
Why not?
Well, 100 people came in the end, one by one, and they all had a picture. So I said to him, "Look, next year." Sorry.
Yeah, next time.
Yeah, so next time I said to him, "You know what? I'll bring a little 3-meter backdrop, and then it's there for you all night, and you can do whatever you want." So obviously the pictures get like, I have sort of said to him about the selfie pod as well, which they're really interested in as well. So yeah, good.
Winning.
Yeah, good.
Winning,
man.
Winning.
Winner,
Yeah,
chicken
so
dinner.
I was in Swindon for silent disco, 80s style, in the Steam Museum down there, which was a really good night. 2 sessions down there, which was a top night, and then had a wedding in Hertfordshire on Saturday, which was also very, very good. I borrowed your confetti cannon, which went down an absolute storm. So thank you for that, sir. But yeah, no, it was a really good night. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I think the last wedding
going
of the
back
year.
to that was the last one of your season, is it?
Yeah.
I've got one more.
Unless one
this
comes
Saturday.
in randomly. But yeah.
Yeah. No, I've got one more, I think, this year for a wedding to do. So going back to your wedding, obviously the confetti cannon. Did you get any footage of it going off?
I have. It's out there.
Interesting.
I'll put it out there.
I haven't seen it.
I sent it to you actually on the night. I edited it up there and then on the night, one to show the bride and groom, and I also sent it to you. But you've chosen not. Yeah, you did get it.
On what platform did you send it to me?
On WhatsApp. Unless I've got another John Collie in my phone that isn't you. But I'm telling you now, 100%, I sent that to you on the evening.
Right. Well, after this, I'm going to have a look. And I don't remember seeing that.
And next week's podcast, I look forward to having the apology being broadcast, please.
Okay. I mean, I will say it. If I've got it wrong,
just put it out there. Early doors.
You put it out there, mate. You put it out there. I mean,
done it.
Well. Oh, look. Did you send it about 9:42 in the evening?
Here comes the apology early, everybody.
Well, I haven't pushed play because I don't know if it's got sound, and I don't want it to ruin our podcast this evening, because I've been looking forward to this podcast all week.
You don't even need it on sound because it's visual.
Okay,
it's the visual.
Let me turn it down.
No one's going to hear it.
I won't lie, that does look the nuts. You know what, Matt? You know what? Put my hands up, man. I am really, I am sorry. I am so sorry.
I appreciate you responding back to a text message I sent you on Saturday evening.
I didn't see that before. I don't know why I didn't see that before. What was the message you sent after? Let me just see what the message was you sent after.
We've had quite a lot of messages after.
When I go driving in my car.
God's sake.
Yeah. So, going back to your Saturday night one, right?
Yes.
I saw on the social media platforms you had a rather enlarged camera.
Oh, completely. What was any reason? Was there any reason for the slight pause of the large bit?
Call it artistic license.
Okay, right. Yes. So, I saw a little bit of a gimmick when we were at the Photo Booth Expo a couple of weeks ago, where they were selling these very hard, durable, old-fashioned looking like cardboard cutout type things of a of a camera, and you can put your own camera in the back of it from your phone, and mount it, and it's got a Bluetooth switch button, and you can take photographs or videos however you want to do it, however you want to set it up, and it's got a ring light on it as well.
Did that
So
come
it
with
looks, yeah, all came with it.
No
So I
way.
thought,
Oh,
it's a little gimmick. That's a little
yeah,
gimmick. I like that
100%.
little gimmick. So yeah, and it was a really good little crowd interactive thing. You at your DJ booth, pull out this really big camera and start waving it around and people are like waving and doing a load of party gesture movements at you, and you're getting great content.
rather than
And
just walk around with a little phone in your hand.
yeah, so I'm like beyond the booth, like we're showing everyone, getting content at the same time, and I think it's also a
Yeah.
nice little thing to give the couple, or whoever's party it is, that footage, that raw footage back. So yeah, it went down like an absolute storm. Loved it.
Oh, what do you don't have to give me a price, but was it expensive? Was it an expensive buyout?
I think I paid around about £89. That's quite exact.
Oh,
I think it was
yeah.
£89. Off the top of my head, I think it was 89 quid.
Okay, okay, it's still reasonable price.
Well, I thought for me, I just looked at it and was like, yeah, that's some. You know me, I like
That's a bit of me, that is.
That's a bit of me. For me, you know, I
Mm.
like to engage with the customers in whatever format I can, whether it's the silent disco stuff, whether it's the private stuff. I think it's all about bringing the energy, all about bringing something different, thinking a little bit outside the box rather than me standing behind the DJ booth pressing play. I want to try and get that interactive. I want to get that presence. I want to try and get that interaction because it means a lot. And I've had some lovely text messages back from the couple following Saturday's wedding, which is great. And that's ultimately what it's all about. You got to bring something different.
Yeah, you have. You have. I think I'm going to interject before I forget, because I've got a memory like a fish. But I think that this is one of the things where you say it's getting harder and harder for us as DJs and such like to be different from everybody else, because there is so much of this something else, something different online.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't own it, and people give it, I'm going to copy that. I'm going to do it. So, as an example, have you heard of the singing waiters?
Yes, I have, yeah.
Yeah. So, for those who have not heard of the singing waiters, the waiters are basically males or females. They're dressed up as a waiter of the venue, and they're going to serve you food and this, that, and the other. And then all of a sudden, there's a big clang and a clatter and this, that, and the other, and the singer falls over on the floor. Everybody rushes around because they think it's a member of staff that's fallen over. Try to give him help. And then with that, he pulls out a microphone and he starts singing, and that's how it goes. That was great, but now it's been all over the social media.
Yeah, everyone knows about it.
Every time I see someone fall over, I'll give it, here we go.
Yeah.
Broken leg, bleeding out, I'll give it, she's going to get up in a minute.
And it's when they
Do you know
don't.
what I mean? So
and it's actually a member of staff from the venue who's actually had a proper accident. But
I think that's where it becomes harder.
Yeah, I think from a DJ perspective, for me personally, I always want to try and bring something slightly different, and adding a little bit more gimmick, yes, but not over gimmicking it where it becomes a little bit laughable, jokeable. As long as you're bringing the energy behind the DJ booth and whatever aspect you're doing, whether it be a party, a wedding, a club, solid disco in front of 1,000 people, as long as you are bringing something that is exciting, people see that you're enjoying it, they will also enjoy it, and then half the battle's done. Yeah.
I mean, I've said it before, if the customer can see that the DJ's having a good time, that's half the battle done. If you're going to stand up there like you're a bass guitarist out of a rock band and you're just like looking bored, which, let's be honest, bass guitarists in bands do look rather boring, apart from Fleet and the Chili Peppers.
Boom.
But yeah, that's what boom, boom, boom. That's what they do.
Sorry to all those bass
Yeah.
players out there that we've just
Yeah,
basically abused.
to be fair, I learned I can play bass guitar, and I do just do like that as well. Yeah. So there you go. Here you go.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
was my weekend. It was a good weekend, to be honest. Good weekend at gigs, and more stuff coming this weekend. What you got planned this weekend, mate?
Got quite a busy one actually. So I've got Halloween school disco on Thursday.
Just before they break up.
Literally just before they break up. I think that is their last day actually. That school.
Yeah.
Then I've got another school disco on Friday, and that is their last day. I've got these big 6, 7, 8, 9, and 12-foot inflatable Halloween things that I put out at the parties to give it a little bit of a feel.
Yeah.
Saturday, I'm down in Ilford for a 10-year-old birthday party. And then Sunday, I have a wedding. I think that's my last wedding of the season. So I've got quite a busy weekend from Thursday onwards.
Nice.
And then I'm taking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off. I can't tell you why I'm taking it off, but I'm taking it off.
That's fine.
I'll tell you next week why I took it off.
You don't need to tell me.
No. I feel like I have to. I feel like we've got that sort of relationship.
You don't have to report back to me, mate. I'm not your keeper.
Well, you just had a go at me because I didn't look at a text message. We're married.
Some days it feels like that.
No, you're all right, mate. To be fair,
mate.
you're all right. Yeah,
Appreciate
you do
it.
have you have your moments.
Oh, thanks. So this week I am silent discoing St Albans Cathedral Thursday and Friday, and Saturday I have a kids party Saturday evening. Yeah,
Nice one.
all good. Yeah, very good.
I should get some more confetti, and you could have taken some more confetti, couldn't you?
I don't need any more confetti. No, we're done.
Really?
We're done with confetti. It's only some venues will have it. Some venues will have it.
I'll just let it off, mate.
Just let it go. See what happens. The consequences afterwards.
Well, consequently, they might have a go at you, but I mean,
yeah,
as long as you clear it up when you leave, you'll be all right.
What's the most bizarrest thing you've been requested to do as a DJ, John?
Oh, as a DJ, strip. Yeah, I did a ladies' night. Yeah,
another one,
mate. Honestly, no, this was like you got the Masonic ladies' night, which is quite respectable, and the average age is probably about 60. Yeah, and then you got the ladies' night, where they're just
that ladies' night. Yeah. Okay.
And then yes, look, I'm not being funny, right? It just does not look good naked. Now, right? So that I think that's probably the most bizarre thing that especially as my wife was sitting over there as well.
Oh, that
she's
makes
giving
it really
no. Yeah. What about you? You must say something for you to bring the question up.
No, not really. But I just thought had the sense that you've been asked. I mean, I get a lot of at some venues that I've been to, i.e. for the private stuff, weddings and parties. Oh, can we use your microphones and we can sing to over the top of a track, and you get a lot of that. And we had it actually at the wedding I did on Saturday. That the brother and sister of the groom wanted to sing a song, which actually turned out better than I thought it was. It's one of those when you see the request come in and it's on you've had those conversations. The bride and groom know something's going to happen because they've told you this is, and then they've basically passed on a number of that sibling who's then made contact with you, and then they've talked it through, and you're like, sometimes this can go down really badly, or sometimes it can really go off. What was quite handy, they did take that the Greatest Day song, and then off the back of that, at the beginning of the second chorus of it, I then let off the second shot of confetti, which added that sparkle,
a little bit more atmosphere,
sprinkle of greatness
Yeah.
Which added a little bit more to their little, I should say, slightly intoxicated performance. But
Well, they
nevertheless,
tend to be the best, don't they? They tend to be the best. Let's be fair.
yeah, it went down all right. To be fair, it went down all right. To be fair,
You talking about brides and grooms and people singing and all of that. I did a wedding a couple of months ago for Courtney and James, and they said to me, "Look, can you make sure that you've got Vanilla Ice, Ice, Ice Baby?" I said, "Yeah, I've got it, no problem." Why? Our uncle or whoever it was, he sings it every single. It's like the family anthem. Can he sing it on the microphone? I said, "Look," I don't mind. I said, "But I don't want no mic drops at the end and breaking my mic because you will be billed because you've signed the contract." And they're like, "Yeah, no, that's fine." So I don't use stems very much. I've never really seen the need for it. I don't need to be that creative in the kind of the way. If I was in a pub or a club, I'd probably use stems a lot more, but I don't. So I took this song and I pre-computed it to stems. So when he sang, I dropped the vocal and left the rest playing. And I'll be honest with you, I dropped the vocal and he was banging time.
really,
Absolutely banging time. When I put the vocals back on, just to make sure that he was in time. And I
love that.
Yeah, no, it was really good. And because the whole family all crowded round him, and he was very respectful of the microphone as well. I didn't actually say anything. Don't do a mic drop. I didn't say anything to him.
Yeah.
Not that I forgot, but I kind of looked at him and thought, you know what? I think you're quite sensible. And he did. He respected my equipment and he gave it back nice. But him doing that little karaoke thing, I don't do karaoke.
It's always a gamble.
It is a gamble, but this gamble paid off, and it really did lift everybody up. And nobody else asked to borrow the microphone, which was another plus, to be fair.
Yeah, you get that once you've done it once, people see it and they're like, "Oh, give me the mic. Can I sing over this song?" And you just go, "No."
Exactly that.
No.
Yeah. I mean, do you use stems at all?
Yeah, I do.
Do you use it a lot, or do you just do it for a couple of songs?
I've started to use it a lot more than I've previously done. I've started to use it quite a bit recently. In particular, I mean, for the song that these guys sang at this wedding, I did reduce, not fully, but took a little bit of Gary Barlow away from the song, which some may say is a good thing, some may think is a bad thing. But just to allow, you can hear the brother and sister that were singing more than you could Gary Barlow. But they wanted it. They wanted him. They didn't really want their voices, but to be honest, they came out quite clearly on the microphones anyway. But from a stems point of view, whilst DJing, in particular, I did around about half an hour set, a garage set at this wedding, and in particular, DJ Piper, "Do You Really Like It" song is perfect for stemming, because everyone knows the words, so you could pull out absolutely all of the music and just had the vocal over the top, which everyone was then singing over it. It actually sounded really, really good. So that's what I use. I use stems more for a quick dropout. If I'm mixing any house tracks or anything like that, I will take out the vocal towards the end of the track at a certain point, or just drop the vocal completely out. So you can bring
in your next track.
So then I can then DJ over the top, mix in ultimately any track over the top of what that is. But yeah, man.
So you don't want a vocal clash at the end of the day. Yeah, no. Like you, there's probably as much as I use stems for. So people say to me, "Oh, you should be using stems all the time." I'm like, yeah, but I've been DJing 20 years and I've never needed it. For the last 20 years, why all of a sudden do I need it now? Don't get me wrong, it is good.
I think stems has come on a lot over the last few years. Some platforms are better than others. Some software platforms are better than others. There's
some that still don't have it.
No. There is some that still don't have it. It's a difficult one because I like the advantage of it. And do you know what I found actually with the silent disco stuff? It's actually a lot better And the reason I say that is because you're not going through a PA system, because you're going through headphones. When you take everything out and just have either the melody or just the vocal or whatever it is, you can actually hear it a lot more clearer than if it was coming out a PA system in a club or a pub or a bar or whatever.
I suppose because they're right there,
Isn't
aren't
it? You're there.
they? Yeah,
The stems, I've found that stems work actually very, very well in the silent disco arena, more than I have in the pubs, clubs, or party side of things. But that's my own personal view. However, I have made a bit of a purchase this week, and I know that stems, it will probably be a bit of a distant memory for me unless things pick up. But yeah.
So, what is that? You can't.
I
just leave it there.
Leave it there.
You can't leave it. Are you going to tell us after the break?
Do you know what? I'm going to save it till after the break. We're going to talk about some hardware that I purchased after the break.
It's just like an EastEnders. Can we have like the dums? You know, but you know when it's like something you're really excited is going to happen, and then they put the end. You've got to wait a week to find out the next bit.
We could do that. We could just wait until next week and see what comes of it.
No,
let's have a break.
I know what it is.
Let's drop in our normal 7 seconds break music.
Ready.
Here we go. You say it. Let's do it after the break.
After the break.
After the break. Welcome back. Now that was a very short break, but enough for me to go to the toilet and come back, where we can get into this a little bit more.
You're the only DJ I know that can go to the toilet in less than 15 seconds and back.
Okay.
Can't do it. I've got to have at least an 8-minute song going or two.
It's the magic of the podcast in the sense of I can edit the bit out.
He's going to say it's the magic. I thought he's going to say it's the magic of having a bag.
No. Stop saying I got a bag. I'm not that old. So just before we had the break, we talked about a little purchase that I've gone and got this week, which I'm still waiting on delivery of. But ultimately, everyone may have guessed it by now. But yes,
why are you drawing it out so long?
Why are you drawing it out so? I am. It's the Alpha Theta Pioneer AZ this week. Yes.
Have you already bought it?
Yes.
Now, when we spoke last week, you said, I'm not going to buy it until after the new year. I think they were pretty much your words that you said to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you know what? Man, I'll tell you, it's like being married. Because like you said about 2 podcasts ago, right? You said, oh, well, I've been out shopping with you, John. Your money's bird's hole in your pocket, right? And here we are, not even a month later.
I know it. So
guilty.
Listen. So obviously, everyone knows we were at the We DJ and Photo Booth Expo down in West London last week, and it was on show. It was great. I had a little play around with it on the Monday. When it was a little bit more quieter at the show, because obviously Sunday was absolutely rammed. You couldn't get anywhere near anything. Yeah. So I had about half an hour with it on the Monday, and fell in love with it. I fell in love with it. Now there may be a lot of people go, and it'll be interesting to see in the comments or anybody comes back in relation to talking about it. A lot of people are like, do you really need to buy that? You know, there's other controllers out there that you can use. Why are you getting such a high-end one? Blah, blah, blah. And I'll take one, yes, it's not cheap. 2, I want to get better. You know, I've been DJing for over 30 years, started on tape cassette, into vinyl, into CDs, and now in the digital world. And to be honest, I feel like the last sort of in the digital world, and even more so the CD world, I've just got a little bit stagnant, and I wanna better myself. I want to get better as a DJ. even after how many years I've been doing it. I just feel that I'm happy to spend that on that equipment, and I want to learn and get into it and really, really get better as a DJ. That's one of the reasons why I've got it. There you go.
I mean, you don't have to explain yourself to
I
me,
have.
my friend.
I have, because you made out
you have
that,
done.
we're married. I've made out. You made out we're married. So
Well,
I'm making that point now.
The thing is, what you just said, yes, it is an expensive bit of kit, right? But I think there are people out there who say, oh, you can do exactly the same on this, and this. But now I'm a Denon DJ. I love the Denon gear.
Right.
I've had Pioneer in the past. My when I went over to CD, I had Pioneer CDJs. I started off with the 800s, then I went to the 1000s, and then I moved over. I can't remember what it's Denon, and so I can't remember what it's called now. But now I'm on the Denon Prime 4. And I know when I saw the unit at We DJ, your one,
Yep.
it is a monster, right?
Yeah.
But it's got a lot of stuff on it. It's got a lot of stuff on it. Now, it is bigger than my Prime 4 by quite a bit. It's quite a bit bigger. I think they probably weigh about the same. Maybe yours may weigh a little bit more, I think. But if you want to better yourself and you don't feel that you can better yourself with what you've got now, you want to, whatever it be, you just want to rock up and you want to be able to put a pen drive in, or you want to be able to use the effects to more, have it more accessible to you, or whatever it is, whatever the reason is, you're going to get DJs out there that are going to give you shouldn't have got that. Yeah. But I think it's down to personal preference. I mean, there's people who go out there and will go and mix. I mean, I saw a video of James Hype mixing on an FLX4.
Yeah, I saw the same video. I think.
Yeah.
Listen, I've seen online. You can take what you see online with a pinch of salt to a degree, but there has been a lot of people that are going, it's a lot of money for what it is. However, then there's the other flip side of saying you can't get any closer to the top end club performance equipment than this, and it is a third of the price of what it is from the CDJ 3000s that you find in clubs. So it's the closest thing that you can get to that in a console performance for the mobile DJ, and it's probably the highest end of a controller, or built-in one controller, that we will see for a number of years. And because of it, I want it, and I want to get better as a DJ.
Yeah.
So I'm happy and content in doing that. There will be people that will be, no, you can do the same thing on an FLX4.
Yeah.
Can you?
You can't.
Can you
no,
really?
You can't. I mean, there's certain features on, what you bought, that you haven't got on, other consoles and this, that, and the other. And again, I think it's down to DJ preference. And I also think that with the equipment that's coming out now, whether it be the Denon or the Alpha, they're future proofing it. There's not going to be a lot more you're going to be able to put in these units that isn't already there. The only thing that, I think that with your new, what's it called? The what? RX?
The AZ.
The AZ.
Yeah.
The only thing with the AZ, the difference to that and the Prime 4 or the Prime 4 Plus is that yours doesn't have, you can't put like
built-in hard drive.
Hard drives. A built-in hard drive. So you've got everything on a stick or your laptop. But then I've seen the back of the unit, and you can still plug in a lot of different peripherals if you wanted to anyway.
So just taking away from that, so the AZ has a built-in Wi-Fi, and it has built-in Bluetooth into the system, and the Wi-Fi connecting, and you can go directly to a cloud where you store your stuff in Rekordbox, and then you can take it from the cloud. So as long as you've got internet access, you don't actually need to have that hard drive. You don't need to have that pen drive. You can get everything via Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I must admit, I mean, one of the reasons I bought my Prime 4 was because if my laptop goes, I've got everything on that one unit. I haven't got to rely on the internet. Now, don't get me wrong, the internet, I mean, the internet has come a long way now. You know, I don't think there ain't many places in this country you can't get a signal. You
Yeah.
know, and you can hotspot from your phone and this, that, and the other. But looking at my unit, the Prime 4, we was able to have your phone and then connect it via Bluetooth, like plug the console to the phone and play something off your phone. Right, no problem. Now they've brought out an update where I can play something from my controller to a Bluetooth speaker. You couldn't do that before. So everything is evolving.
Yeah.
Everything is evolving, but there's not. There can't be that much more to come. They can't. I mean, I can't see it. That makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. I think they're always pushing the boundaries in relation to controllers and consoles, and I think I would say that the roof of it is completely endless. It's all about what they want to add further to it. You know, what is interesting, this goes back to what we were talking about just before the break around the stems element to it, is that there is no controller that has built-in stems. Okay, the stems comes from the software that's connected to your laptop. It does not come from inside the controller. So any controller you can map stems in if your software has it. I think it will come to the point in the future that potentially stems will be built into a unit, but that takes up a huge amount of processing within the laptop to do that. So they're going to be they'll have to remove that element from a laptop point of view from the software and then put that into controller. That will probably be the next advance to where we're going.
I know Denon are already working on it with their Prime series that to get stems in there. There's loads of things, you know, floating around the Twitter sphere and this, that, and the other about Denon doing the stems and built in the controller. So it will come. Obviously, they've just got to find a way of doing it. You know,
and people say, "Oh no, the FLX10 has stems." No, it has the buttons, so it's mapped it in and got direct
to the
buttons
software
to it, which goes to the software. So that's where the stems sit.
So it's mapped to the laptop, isn't it?
It's just mapped to the software, to the laptop, basically. And it's the power of the laptop that enables the quick reduction of dropping the bass line, dropping the melody, dropping the vocal. That takes, you know, that's where the speed is within the software of your laptop that has the ability to do that. It's not the controller. But I think stems will come. I think stems will come into consoles in the future, but we're probably talking 10 years away, maybe. Who knows?
I mean, I mean, I can on my unit now. I can download an update, a firmware update to my controller just via the Wi-Fi. Yeah, so you know, it can be done. It will be done, I'm sure. So, quick question for you. Now, I know roughly how much your new unit costs, right? Did you also factor into the price that you're going to need a new case?
I bought the case.
Oh,
well, shut me down. Yeah, no. So I say bizarrely, just worked out perfectly actually. So I actually purchased the equipment from a supplier. I was heading pretty much past the door of that supplier and popped in and said, "Hey, I've just purchased this week from you online. Do you have the case for it?" And they said, "No, not yet. It's also in the design and build phase. But yes, you can purchase that." Well, so I purchased the bag as well.
So have you got like a case or like semi-soft case like the UDG stuff or
the swamp case? I've got the hard case. I've not gone for a hard thing. I've gone for the normal carry.
The normal carry, like the UDG style one. Yeah, I know the ones you mean. Yeah, nice. Nice.
So
are you gonna buy it? Do they do a deck saver or anything for it?
They do get a deck saver. Well, they will be doing a deck saver for the AZ, but at this moment in time, that's not been created or produced.
Okay.
But they said deck savers, realistically, in those bags, you're not really gonna cause any problem. Deck saver is more about keeping the dust. If it's
Yeah.
if
No,
you,
no,
if you left it at
I'm
home,
right.
if you've left it at home
Yeah.
and it's on the side and it's permanently on the side, or it's in a club or in a pub or wherever, and that's the
Yeah.
deck saver's there to let stop the dust getting in. But
Yeah,
if you've got
I
it in a
use my
bag,
deck
you've got it in a
saver.
bag.
Yeah, I use my deck saver as just that little bit more extra protection whilst in the bag, to be fair.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to do is open it up and find, oh, look, I ain't got a fader. My fader knob's gone, broken off, or whatever. Yeah, you know. And the thing is as well, I mean, you know, they've all got, well, mine has and your one has now got screens on. So you've got to be like, oh, yeah, you've got to treat it like a baby.
Yeah,
Treat
I've
it like
got
a baby, man.
10.5-inch screen on mine now.
But, you know, it's not bad size.
I
It's about
can't
what the
wait
screen
to
can
get
do,
it.
isn't it?
I can't wait to get it. I missed that.
Have you got an estimated arrival date?
Yeah, so it's estimated. That's the biggest thing. It's all about how
That's the big word.
quickly Pioneer drop it. Because I think it comes out. It's either this week or next week. It actually starts dropping to people that purchased it.
Right.
Okay. And from my understanding, I'm gonna probably get it mid-November. But it all depends on how many. It all depends on how many Pioneer or Alpha Theta actually drop out.
Units.
I'm on a list basically.
Okay.
It's
So
quite.
have you already started?
Go on. I was going to say it's not. You say a list, but I mean, when you spend that money, it's like just spent an absolute. Yeah. Where is it?
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
I want it, but yeah.
Yeah. It's like when you buy a brand new car and they give it, oh, you can pick it up in 2 weeks. Why? I'm sitting in it now. I want it now.
I know. My back pocket's like. Yeah.
So have you already started? Have you? So okay, let me go back another before I ask that question.
Go.
Right. So are you going with your new console?
Yes.
Are you going to your new controller? Are you going to continue to use your laptop, or are you going to go USB drive?
I'm gonna probably do both. At the beginning, I think I'm gonna pretty much dice with all of it. So I'm gonna go with cloud, putting everything in the cloud on Rekordbox. I'm gonna do the pen drive side of things from Rekordbox, but I'm also gonna have the software. Now the software side of things, now Serato should be coming in line with the AZ December, they've said. But you can use Rekordbox software against it. It's Rekordbox and Serato compatible. Serato just need a few weeks, from what I'm led to believe, to get themselves up to speed with the console for them to start rolling out, i.e. the mapping of the console and onto their software in Serato.
Okay.
So that's the plan. I'm gonna bounce around it, but I'm gonna try and move away from laptop more than I have, because I've always done laptop.
Yeah. So you saying Serato and Rekordbox. I know that you now, at the moment, you use the software platform Algorithm.
Yeah.
So are you familiar with Rekordbox or Serato? Because I'm not. I've never used either of them.
Nope.
So that's something else that you're going to have to do a little bit of.
And do you know what? I'm really excited about it. I'm like, I have used Algorithm. Algorithm DJ. I have used it for years, absolutely years. I've been using it because I thought, oh, that's a really good platform. I'm just going to use that. So I used it.
Yeah.
And I've never really walked away from it. But I'm excited about actually going, no, I'm going to move away from that, and then I'm going to start using something different. Listen, maybe it's a midlife crisis I'm going through, Josh.
Quite possibly, my friend. It does sound very like it.
It does a little bit. Okay. So maybe I'm going for a bit of a midlife crisis, but I want to try new things. I want to try a new platform. I want to try Rekordbox. I want to try Serato. And for people that's never used it or use it now, I've never used those platforms, so it's trying something new. I'm getting a new controller. I want to learn the controller inside and absolutely out. One, because
Yeah.
I've made the commitment financially, and it's not cheap.
Financially, yeah.
I've made that decision and made that jump, and I want to get better. I'm going to really go into it in a massive amount of detail, and really get to grips with it. Because there's no point. Otherwise, there's no point. There's no point doing it.
No, I think another thing that would be interesting. I mean, obviously, we got listeners on the Groove Junction across the world. You know, now I know that there's Denon users, there's Prime users, there's Tractor users, there's algorithm users, Rekordbox, this, that, and the other. Be interested to know what people use. You know, maybe they could put it in the comments. Yeah, what do you use? Are you using a standalone? So, you know, just standalone and Prime 4 or whatever. Or if you're using a software base, it'd be interesting to know.
Mm.
I mean, because I used to use Tractor. I loved Tractor, absolutely loved Tractor. But the only thing is that you had to have a Tractor controller to use Tractor. You couldn't have the Prime 4 unless you wanted to sit there and be a complete genius and remap. And no, that's not for me. That's part of the price of the unit. People have already mapped it for me. I've already paid for that. You know? So it'd be interesting to know what people have got. You know, if they've got standalone, are they using standalone? Are they using standalone with laptop? Are they Tractor? Whatever. Be interesting to know, because I do see a lot of FLX4s out there. People using FLX4s. I see a lot of that on videos. And actually, that brings me to another question. Right? Have you noticed, right, when you'll see on TikTok, Facebook, whatever, in the DJ forums, and they go, got the big rig out tonight, and you look at it and you give it, it's got a little combi booth, 2 speakers, and a gig bar, right? Are they being sarcastic, or do they really think that is their big rig? I'm not putting anybody down, I'm not, but when someone says to me, I've got the big rig out, I'm thinking, right, we've got bass bins, we've got tops, we've got more lights than you can shake a stick at. You know, and it's going to be over a space of probably like 10, 12 foot. And then I look at these pictures and I'm thinking, I don't know whether they're being sarcastic. I've got the big rig out. I don't know whether I can't. Have you seen them?
No, I've seen what you're talking about. I think it's a different. I don't know what I'm trying to get at. It's a different feel. So if you think that that's big for you, then say it's a big rig. You know, we as DJs are looking at it, and we are some people be very critical about what people are putting out or what they're showing, and people look at it and go, that doesn't look particularly good, or that looks, you know, okay, I'll give you an example. Okay, so you sent me a picture of your rig on Saturday, and I was like, I looked at it and was like, love it, absolutely loved it. And I looked at a bit of detail on it, and one of your 8-lab sticks was around about probably 20 centimeters lower down than the one on the other side. And not saying that I've got OCD or anything, but I looked at that and was like, that's attention to detail.
Yeah.
Get them matched up. And I think maybe in the social media world, we are a little bit overcritical about certain things. I can say it to you, we're mates. You're not going to take offense about it. No. But I think some people will have a setup and they go, this is my setup. Like, this is my setup. And you might just have a gig bar or 2 gig bars, a couple of spots, and some speakers on the stand and a little combi booth. Yeah. For you, that it may be the big, you know, that is your rig. Yeah. So you're going to advertise it as your rig.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, one thing that does bug me when I see these posts, and it's not the post itself, it's the comments. And it's like, oh, mate, I would do this, I would do that. You shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. Sort your cables. There's always cable police. And I think to myself, if you haven't got anything nice to say, right, okay, you can give constructive criticism. I get that. You can give constructive criticism. But if you're not gonna big them up and praise it up and say, yeah, that looks really good, send them a private message.
Yeah.
And just say, yeah, mate, what I would do with this, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I can see a lot of like new people being disheartened by the hatred that hatred probably not the right word.
No. I think you are hitting the right mark. I think you're saying exactly the right things. I think this is what this comes down to in the sense of what we are trying to build, and a few fellow DJs are trying to build around that community side of things. Of, don't be asked what the people are thinking about your rig. Like, don't read into those comments. If people want to share a good comment or say, do you know what, it looks really good, have you thought about this? Be proactive with it and be positive with it, rather than be, really, the way you've pointed that at that, it looks absolutely, don't be negative about it. We're all in this together. Be positive about comments, help people out. You know, that critical eye that somebody else has of your equipment may actually help you get better, but it's got to be in a positive manner rather than it being in a, that looks a load of crap, the way you've got that set up like that.
So the reason I brought that one up is because a few weeks ago, you and I were chatting, and you said, have you got a picture of your rig pre-COVID? Do you remember that conversation?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
And I said, now I sent you that picture, and I looked at when I look at my rig back pre-COVID, I look at it, I think, oh my God, what was I doing? But at the time, my rig was the nuts.
Yeah, because you looked at it that way. Yeah.
Yeah. And then now I look at my rig now, and I know in my last video on TikTok, I said, you know what, I am like really happy with my setup. Yeah. And I am really happy with my setup. Who's in a year's time, or 2 years' time, I might think, you know, should have done this, I'm going to do that, or whatever. So I get what you're saying, but
it's about the journey, John. It's about for me, it's about the journey.
That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for, the journey. And it is about the journey. You know, because we've all started with the basics. And this is what we've told people on the group Junction so many times. You don't have to match the veteran DJs who go out and spend £3,000 on a whatever. You can start off. I wasn't going to highlight it just in case your wife listens to it. But no, you know, start small, build up, do a couple of parties, buy yourself a new light. You know, for God's sake, don't get yourself into debt over it. It's about
the journey. It's about the journey and realizing where you were at certain point to where you are now. And I wanted to make that point to you because the reason we had the conversation, and I'll be open and honest about it, is that you were not particularly happy about where you were at that time. And I was saying to yourself, go back, look at where you were a year ago, 2 years ago, find a photograph of your setup, and then look at the picture of what you got now. You have traveled down a path and you have successfully got better in the sense of what you had previously to what you have now. And I think, it's that whole reset mindset from you as an individual to go, do you know what? Yeah, I was now to where I am, where I was to where I am now, it's made a massive advantage for me as a DJ and my setup, and I've seen the rewards of that by people booking me and getting me gigs. So 100%, I think everyone 100%. Should do that. I think every DJ should do that. Every mobile DJ should do that. Look at your rig, look at what you got, and then go back in time and look at what you had, and see see the progression that you've made in our field that we love.
I mean, I had a DJ tonight asking me some advice on some disco lights, and I was like, well, this is what I use. This is my advice because this is what I use, and this is how it. And he's gone out and he's bought them on my recommendation. But then I've had other DJs be and say, I'm thinking of getting this, and I'm like, well, there is this instead, which will do exactly the same and it's half the price or whatever. So I think it's good. I think it's good that the other DJs do, help other DJs. Not every DJ is going to take what you say and implement it, but it's good to get another set of eyes. I probably wouldn't have gone back and looked at a rig 3 years ago, and then thought, actually, I've come a long way.
And that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Look at where you were,
100%.
Look at what you've got now, and go, do you know what? I've got better. And I think and that's another reason why I've purchased what I've purchased, because I want to get better. I want to get better. We all want to get better. Because if you don't, you'll just get stagnant and you may get bored. and you may end up walking away from something that you actually really love and enjoy doing, and are really actually quite good at it. So just keep that positivity going, everybody. Just keep that positive going.
Yeah,
and on that note,
it's been quite a deep podcast, hasn't it?
A little bit. The second half has been a little bit deeper than I imagined it would be, but we never script anything. This is all pretty much off the cuff tonight, which is very good. But we've come to the end of the night, John. So
not even one insult. Not even one insult tonight.
I'm going to leave it until next week. Is that all right?
Well, I feel a little bit deflated now, to be fair.
Oh, okay. I'm just giving you. I'm just giving you a week off.
I need a breather from it. Well,
I'm just giving you a week off.
Yeah, but then when I go back indoors, I've got no reason. I have no reason to slam that door, so my wife knows I'm back. I have to she goes, "Oh, has he annoyed you again?" I keep it. Oh, you would not believe what he said to me today.
Oh, it's like that, is it? Lovely.
It's not.
I'm being positive. I'm being positive tonight, and that's what the final message was. It's about being positive about what you do. Just be positive.
Yeah. No, it was absolutely.
Raise your game, up your game, be positive about it, and get one of your mates who's another DJ to go, check you out. Check your kit. Check it all out. Yeah. All good stuff. Good episode, my friend. All good stuff. Have a great week ahead. As always,
my friend.
Yeah, and as always, thank you for everybody that's listened, who drops in, who downloads, listens to it during the week. I do apologise to everyone because we have slightly changed this now, and for all future podcasts going forward, this will now drop on a Friday at 10 a.m. So all of our podcasts going forward will be dropping on a Friday at 10 a.m. There's a number of reasons why that. I don't need to get into it, but ultimately, Fridays is that perfect time for you to download the week's podcast and get ready for the weekend and have it listening to whilst you're travelling to and from your gigs, or whilst you're doing the ironing, the cooking, or like John kicking the dog, or the wife maybe. Who knows? Got one in. I got one in. So
got one in.
Thanks everyone for listening and watching. Keep it real, everyone. Have a great week. John, have a great week. I'll see you next week, mate.
And you, pal. Take care, my man.